Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Ember build and today I'm very happy to publish this build video because I really like that character and recently I'm playing with this much in trials and dungeons at the moment, and this is very great to play. Finally I just completed the sets and best in slot for my stamina DK called Ember. I called her Ember because the fire thing. It has very much fire and poison effects, and I just wanted to call her like this. Yeah, here is what is this? Yeah, I realized when I came here, but what is this? Oh my god, such a beautiful lady, isn't she? Oh my god, someone killed her here. Okay. Uh some who want to know is Dromatra style that I'm wearing at the moment, and it's crafted set. First of all, I start with my character stats that I have Shiha Shatter title from Veteran Helra, and I put 64 attribute point to stamina and increasing max health and stamina as usual food. And as you can see, there is 2 Manda Stone, and it means I'm using twice more star to get benefit from it. And the Minor Slayer, your attack deal 5% more damage to dungeon and trial monster, is coming from Vicious Ophidian 3-piece. Yeah, I'm staying with unbuffed 70.5% weapon crit and 3000 weapon damage with 34.8k maximum stamina and 17k health, which is enough, and 10.6k maximum magic. And I have 822 stamina recovery, but as you guys know, in PvE recovery is not important. Okay, first of all I start with plunder schools, of course, but I'm gonna start with plunder schools. Here is my main bar. It's Milestone Dagger. It got nerfed. They reduced the damage from flurry skill that you are getting from 3000 to 2000 after you use the flurry. Actually, it's a sharpened and 2.5k physic and spell penetration. Your flurry grants 2000 additional weapon and spell damage on the next single target damage over time effect, cast within 4 seconds. Has a 50% chance to trigger per equipped weapon with this glyph, and adds 94 weapon damage, and it's gold. You need dagger, and it gave you crit by passively. And on the other hand, it's a Milestorm Axe with same enchantment special for Milestorm, and it's a sharpened too. And on the back bar I have the Milestorm Bow. Increases the damage of volley by 161 per tick, increasing by 56 every half second, and adds 189 weapon damage, and it's sharpened too, and it gives you 5k physical and spell penetration. And helmet is Vicious Ophidian. You can get it from Sanctum Ophidia easily, or the other trials in normal mode in Craglorn, at Craglorn, and you can farm these pieces. And you need divines with maximum stamina glyph, and it's legendary too. On the 2 adds 688 weapon crit. On the 3, as you already know, grants Minor Slayer at all times, increasing your damage done to dungeon and trial monsters by 5%. And on the 4 adds 688 weapon crit, And as a last benefit, it gave you reduce the cost of your stamina abilities by 8%. When you kill an enemy, you restore 2.1k stamina and gain measure expedition for 20 seconds, increasing your movement speed by 30% and adds 129 weapon damage. And my chest is twice more star with divines, and you need all divines on all your armor pieces. 1000 health, 1000 stamina, 1000 magic, and you can have 2 Mundus stone boons at the same time. And with again same stamina glyph, and shoulder is vicious ophidian divine stamina glyph, waist twice more star stamina glyph, hands divine stamina glyph, and legs divine stamina glyph, and same for the foot. Divines and maximum stamina glyph again, and all of them are legendary, as you can see. Okay, now the important thing is it's kinda hard now after the patch. Necklace of Vicious Ophidian and Rings of Vicious Ophidian, they all robust, and there is no way to drop healthy and arcane, by the way. And I put Kuta with weapon damage glyph to get more weapon damage, and 174 weapon damage on all of them. And I complete the set on like that before the patch comes out to the PS4. And I really work hard to get these rings for all my characters in order to not to swap gear sets between characters, and now I'm very happy. And the food I'm using is this one, maximum health 5.4k and maximum stamina for 5000 for 1 hour. I just eat one. Oh, it seems strange. The potion thing is completely up to you in this character, but I really maybe I don't see any skill to use in order to instead of Expert Hunter and Flames of Oblivion. So I'm not using this weapon power potions, and I stick with normal drop 150 potions. And also I can use that too, and you can use it. Grants minor brutality, which increase your weapon damage by 20%, and maximum stamina and stamina recovery, but you can craft with crit too. I don't rely on these potions in this character, so I think it's good way to not to use weapon power potions in this. And the skills are kinda important now, and basically this character is completely damage over time, and you need to focus very good the skills that you are using, and it's kinda hard to play with it. But I'm really offering you to give a try with that character. Yeah, dual wield ultimate, as you know, we have now weapon ultimates, and it's lesser rate dual wield ultimate. Slash an enemy is in front of you, dealing 28.8k physical damage over 8 seconds and healing you for 50% of the damage done. This is not morphed yet. This is not morphed, and it still hits so hard. And also this is a good choice to put it instead of Flawless Dawnbreaker, because you get healing and you do massive damage, and it's damage over time. So it get benefit from Milestorm dual wield. You can increase the damage with that. And the second skill is Rending Slash. Slice an enemies with both weapons to cause deep lacerations, dealing 2.5k physical damage and causing them to bleed for an additional 12k physical damage over 9 seconds. You also reduce enemy movement speed 50% for the duration. Duration is 9. And our main spammable skill is Rapid Strikes, again from dual wield. Flood an enemy with steel, battering them with 5 consecutive attacks that each deal 1.2k physical damage. Each hit increases the damage of the subsequent hit by 3%. The final hit deals 300% more damage, and these numbers are not buffed. Okay, let me buff myself easily just to see. Yeah, it goes up to 1373, and Rending Slash goes to 13k, and my ultimate goes to 21k. Okay, it's very good. And you have to put the passive here. Increase damage with dual wield abilities by 20% against health with under 25% health. So you need to be sure that you are using Rending Slash the whole time. And the second one, increase weapon damage by 6% of offhand weapons damage. Reduce the cost of dual wield abilities 20%. Give you a 15% chance, 15% damage bonus. Not the chance, I'm sorry. When attacking stunned, immobilized, disoriented or silenced enemies. And this Twin Blade and Blood passive is a must-have, because this is the thing that why I'm using dagger and the axe. If you use axe and dagger, you get each axe gives your melee attacks a 8% chance to bleed enemies for 12k physical damage over 6 seconds. Also, it's damage over time. Each mace causes your attacks to ignore 10% of enemies' physical. We are not using mace and we are not using sword too. And each dagger increases your weapon crit rating, current bonus 1000. Yeah, basically you use dagger to get crit and you use axe to get 8% chance to bleed enemies. It is working like monster set, you know, and that's why I'm not using monster set instead of Vicious Ophidian helmet and shoulder, and that it's very good. And like this I get more damage with the sets. And medium armor passives, as you know, crit rating, stamina recovery, and cost stamina abilities reducing, and weapon damage 12%, movement speed, and reduce cost of roll dodge. Remove Leisure Domain, Soul Magic, and the Fighter's... oh no, not the Fighter's... yeah, it's Fighter's Guild. Here is that first skill that I'm using. Evil Hunter gave me 10% weapon critical, and when I put it on my bar I get 3% more weapon damage on my dual wield bar. And here is the second skill that giving you set a sharpened blade trap at your location. When triggered, the trap deals 4200 physical... oh, let me buff myself again to see what hitting actually. 4714.3k physical damage over 6 seconds, immobilize an enemy for 6 seconds, and grants minor force, increase crit damage by 12%. And you don't need to cast every time. You can just put it when your arms become normal, and the animation from rearming trap is like you will get white arms, and it means you get crit damage by 12%. And we get also 3% more weapon damage because we put rearming trap and evil hunter, so it's equal to 6% weapon damage increase in total. I didn't put any skill to rest of them. And the last skill is that I'm going to explain is Ardent Flame, second active skill. Venomous Claw. Buff again. Rake an enemy with your claw, dealing 5000 poison damage and additional 17.8k poison damage over 10 seconds, with damage increasing by 12% every 2 seconds, and it's OP. And you really need to do your rotation so well. And this numbers is without Milestorm dual wield proc. These numbers are without the Milestorm dual wield glyph, guys. So there's a huge DPS. It's OP. This character is one of the most powerful PvE character in the Elder Scrolls Online at the moment, to be honest. And this is very great. The skills are amazing. And at the back bar I'm using Flames of Oblivion, activating an arrow of flame which launches a fireball at the nearest enemy every 5 seconds, dealing 5.3k flame damage. While slotted, you get 10% more spell and weapon crit. Okay, it's unbuffed again. With the buff, it hits 5800 flame damage. Also, here is another skill that I'm using, Noxious Breath. Noxious Breath exhale a corrosive blast, dealing 2.4k poison damage to enemies in front of you and an additional 11.5k poison damage over 10 seconds again. Also afflicts enemies with major fracture, reducing their physical resistance by 5000. It is good for solo, and even if you are in the group you can put it with the tank that using pierce armor, but they will not stack, but you still can hit so hard with that skill. And here is the passives. Passives: combustion increases damage of the burning and poison status effect by 66%, and this one is reducing the enemy movement speed if you hit with these skills: Flames of Oblivion, Noxious Breath, and Venomous Claw. I didn't put any. Increases damage of the Fury Breath, Searing Strike, and Dragonknight standard abilities by 3% and the duration by 2 seconds. And it gave us a chance to finish our rotation and continue and rinse and repeat. Last one is increase the damage of flame and poison area of effect abilities by 6%, and it's very good too. And Dragonic Power, that I'm not using any skill here. This build is not good for Milestorm though, and it's good for trials and dungeons for group play, not the solo or PvP. I didn't put anything. Block additional and healing received, I didn't put anything because I'm not using any skill from this skill tree. And as you can see, it's 44 and increase spell resistance by 1.3k. I just put 1 and I need to level it up. And Earthen Heart. Earthen Heart is our buff, and that's why I'm not using potions and I'm using this. Increasing your spell damage and weapon damage by 20% for 40 seconds. And here is the passive: Eternal Mountain, increase duration of Earthen Heart abilities by 20%, and Battle Roar. When activating an ultimate, restores health, magic, and stamina in amounts increased by 70% of the ultimate cost. And the other one is activating an Earthen Heart ability grants minor brutality that you are not getting with molten weapons. Minor brutality to you and nearby allies, increasing weapon damage by 5% for 20 seconds. If you are in combat, you also gain 3 ultimate. This can only occur once every 6 seconds. And the last one is give us stamina, but as long as we have better ore. And this, because we get ultimate, we use ultimate, we full of everything, we just become maxed resource gained because we are using ultimate, and it gave us what we need. And here is poison injection from bow skill line. Let me buff myself again. Shoot an arrow to enemy, dealing 5.4k poison damage and an additional 11.7k poison damage over 10 seconds. What a luck, because every skills are hitting around 6 seconds or 10 seconds. It hits the damage over time around this, between these numbers, and the damage over time deals up to 260% more damage to enemies under 50% health. And you can think like it's execution and you have to cast it every time when you change the bar, and while you are doing the rotation. You don't need to, you must do it. You don't need to forget that and ignore. You can't ignore, because it hits like a truck. And the other one is Arrow Barrage. Arrow Barrage is AoE. Recently I was using Endless Sail, but I don't think Endless Sail is good as Arrow Barrage, because it has more area, like radius says 7 meter, and duration is reduced from 10 seconds to 8 seconds because of the morphs. Endless Hail cost less than Arrow Barrage, around 1.5k stamina, and it costs 2000. And Endless Hail has 10 second duration, but Arrow Barrage has 8 seconds, and but has increased range. So I think I'm already changing the bars. I'm already changing bars the whole time. And why not using Arrow Barrage and get benefit because of big area? Okay, it hits 1300 physical damage to enemies in the target area every half second for 8 seconds. So you have to cast every 8 sec again. And the passives that I'm using increase weapon crit rating by 1000, and your successful light and heavy attacks increase the damage of your bow abilities by 5% for 4 times for 4 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. I'm sorry for confusion. So basically I use all the time heavy attack, poison injection, and it increased my bow damage. And I'm really trying to hit with light and heavy attacks between my whole skills, and it's really good. And I get damage and I get stamina back because my race is Red Guard. Red Guard passives is increasing your stamina recovery by 9%, increase your max stamina by 10%, and your melee attacks restore 3% of your max stamina. This effect can occur once every 5 seconds. And that's why I'm using light attack the whole time. Yeah, this is the skills that I'm using at the moment, and I will show you the rotation too after I explain champion points. Since it is PvE, I put 100 to Warlord to reduce stamina cost of spells and abilities by 16%, and 87 to Mooncalf, increase your stamina recovery by 22.7%. Ah, God. Nothing in the Shadow, nothing in the Apprentice, nothing in the Etrone. And here is 90 goes to Mighty. Mighty increase your physic, poison, and disease damage by 23.2%, and it's very good on stamina DK or stamina Dragonknight. I don't know how you guys love to call it. I call it Ember. And precise strikes I put 47, increased damage and healing dealt by weapon crits by 14.7%, and the Tarmature. Tarmature is increase the effectiveness of your damage over time effects by 15.4%. You can even reduce precise strikes and put more into Tarmature, and you can get benefit if you think you will like that, you will love like this. And but as I saying the whole time, it's not gonna be my build, and I tried everything and it seems better for me. I feel better with this combination. And here is passive. When you fall below 20% health, gain major heroism, which grants 18 ultimate over 8 seconds every 20-second cooldown. And here is opportunist. Increases the damage of your next physic attack by 15% after you interrupt a target. So I'm always interrupting a target. And perfect strike. When you put 30, increase your weapon crit rating by 12%, and it's good too. And increase your damage against off balance enemies by 10%. It's very good for the damage too. Nothing in the state, nothing in the lord, and here is I put 62 to hardy to reduce poison, disease and physic damage dealt to my Ember by 17.9%. And here is elemental defender, reduced flame frost, shock and magic damage that you are taking by 17.9%. and the thick skin. Thick skin is basically reducing the damage you take from damage over time effects by 17.4%, and it's a must-have. It's a must-have. This three you need to put all you have, all you got to split between this three, and you will not die so fast. And here is critical leech passive, that's important to explain. Restore 330 health when you hit with a direct damage crit strike. So it gives you constant health regen. You can think like, but every 5 seconds. Maybe it's not worth, but it's better than nothing. Yeah, this is my champion points, and I guess I didn't forget anything. Also, I wanna explain one thing. The thing is why I'm not using power weapon damage potions, because let's check the skills. Dragonknight standard, lava whip, fear grip, dragon leap, spiked armor, dark talons, dragon blood, reflective scale and inhale. Imagine that I'm gonna remove evil hunter from my main and flames of oblivion from my back bar and igneous weapons from my back bar too. Imagine which skill that I need to use. There is no skill worth to put instead of evil hunter, igneous weapons or flames of oblivion. And in the skill line, magma armor, stone fist, obsidian shield, petrify and ash cloud, and it's not good for stamina Dragonknight. And dual wield, whirlwind blade, cloak, hidden blade. I didn't like that. Scatter shot, arrow spray, snipe, rapid fire. Still not good to use it. No evasion, no silver bolt, no circle of protection, no mage's guild, no undaunted, blood altar, trapping webs, inner fire, bone shield, necrotic corp is not worth to use. Rapid maneuver, vigor, cold traps, magic detonation, siege shield, purge guard, revealing flare, and that's all. There is, maybe you guys will say, put vigor and cold traps on. Yeah, I can put vigor and cold traps, but why I sacrifice the time that I'm from my rotation. I already have 10 seconds after each rapid strike. I put rapid strike and go venomous claw and light attack, following light attack with rapid strike, changing bar. Noxious breath has 10 seconds too. Changing bar, light attack, rapid strike to get the buff, and I put rearming trap, for example, and rapid strike and rending slash again to get the buff from the dual wield. And I rapid strike and send poison injection to an enemy. And I cast Flames of Oblivion, Arrow Barrage. I really don't have to put time to put vigor on, because there's always a healer in trials. This build is for mainly end game PvE content called like Veteran Sanctum Ophidia, Veteran Ethereal Archive, Veteran Helra, and Maw of Lorkai. This character is a must needed class and build in these days, and because it hits so hard, and every trial team, every professional trial team needs one or two, minimum one, needs stamina DK in their team. So I don't need to put vigor or cold traps. Cold traps will kill my sustain. 5000 stamina, it will kill my sustain. And so I think we agree about this, and this is all I can say, and I'm very happy with that build, and I didn't see any point to remove Evil Hunter, Flames of Oblivion, or Ignious weapons. I already have potions. Or can craft potions, but I didn't see any worth to use that potions instead of Expert Hunter and the other two. So let's talk about the skill rotations now. Okay, now we are at the boss that I need to show the skill rotations here, and I'm with my friend Hauser and Katoturk, and yeah, here we can start. Okay, now first of all I do heavy attack and rapid strike, anti-sail, major breach, rapid strike, light attack, venom's claw, rapid strike, change bar, anti-sail, and I put this rapid strike, and I put ultimate, rapid strike, anti-sail, down, and I keep going with that rotation now. Okay. And these skills are gone. I just put them again, and I buff myself, and I buff myself again. I put it. I regen the buffs, and it's already dead now. This is the rotation that I'm using with that character. Basically, I go back, I buff myself, I use this, and this, and this. Every time I use Venomous Claw, Poison Injection, and Fury Breath, and Rending Slash, Rearming Trap. Every time I use that skills, I'm using Rapid Strike before that one. So it's gonna be OP, and it really hits so hard. I'm not using I'm not doing DPS, but I believe it can destroy every enemy with this rotation, but you just need to cast every skills and every time. So don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and comment below.